What is going on, Swoopers? Welcome back to another episode of Swoop Luke. In this episode, we'll be reviewing that horrible loss to the Eagles. So on late Saturday afternoon, Collingwood took on the West Coast Eagles at Marvel Stadium, and what everyone had as a surefire win was anything but surefire winning. Collingwood obviously went down to the Eagles in, a good win by the Eagles. I think they had lost their 7 previous games, affected by COVID and stuff. There was a lot of talk that they had brought in a waffle team, and if you look at the guys that they brought in and the guys that they had in their squad, I think only like 5, 6 or 7 of them weren't really getting games last year, and some of them were from the waffle. But look, what can you say? We just, like the Geelong game previously, we just kicked ourselves out of it. There's not a lot of games you're going to win kicking 10 goals, 14, and 1 goal in the last quarter. I've been harking on this stat, over on Twitter and Instagram, where our last 3 rounds, since round 2 against Adelaide, we've kicked, I think it's 2 goals, 8 in the last quarters of each of those 3 games. So that's Adelaide, Geelong, and West Coast. How? How do you expect to win a game when you just teeter out in that last quarter? And we talked about it against Geelong. In the Geelong game, yes, that was hot and cold, that game. We know third quarter was really good, 9 goals. Last quarter, shithouse. Geelong put on all those goals. With this West Coast game, we had so many inside 50s, so many opportunities to score. Even in the last quarter, we had opportunities to score, and we just couldn't convert. It's not every day that West Coast are going to kick 14 goals, 3, or any team is going to be that accurate. 14 goals, 3 behinds. They just made the most of their shots when they went inside 50, and we just didn't. In that second half, we only had 12 shots on goal, and we kicked 4 goals, 8 from 12 shots in 2 quarters, right? So that's crazy. And let me tell you an even crazier stat. The inside 50s count for that second half was 27 to 18 in favour of us. We went in there 27 times for only 12 scoring shots, which is less than 50%. We went at about 40% kicking efficiency in that forward half. And why? Because no matter who the coach is, we seem to be doing that bomb it long to Jeremy McGovern every single day of the week. It always happens against West Coast. I love Craig and I love what the coaches are doing, and I think we're on the right track, but I don't know why every single time we play West Coast, it's just bomb it long. When they even brought in Barras, who is another intercept marker. They got Hearn down there. Obviously McGovern, who just led the intercept marks throughout the game. And, I think it's stuff like that really frustrates you. And Fly came out and said that we looked really good on paper and we had the opportunities to win, and we did. 10 goals, 14 is 24 scoring shots to 17 that the Eagles had. So we had a lot of opportunities to win. We just couldn't convert. Clearances we were winning, possessions and all these little stats and stuff like that we were doing really well in. And that is a positive, right? That we can do this. And, I think we laid like over 65 tackles, and our defensive and our forward pressure was insane. It was like 13 tackles inside our attacking 50 when West Coast only had half a dozen or something like that. So these are the little positives, and these are what you can look back on these losses and go, okay, at least we're doing this little bit right. And look, if we kick straight, we're 4-0. There's no way, if we put 3 points from that we scored last week into goals, and 3-4 goals, 3-4 points that we scored this week into goals, we're 4-0. There's no way Geelong comes back after we kick 2 goals in that last quarter, or there's no way West Coast come back when we what did we kick? 1 goal, 4 in that last quarter. We convert 2. You arrest the momentum from the Eagles. There's no way they come back from that, but we just couldn't do it. And I guess that's what's the most frustrating thing at the moment. You can, like I said, you can take last week's loss. This one is a lot more disappointing because we had the opportunity to win it and we just literally shot ourselves in the foot. Another positive though was the Dacos Brothers lighting up Marvel Stadium. They had 60 disposals between them, 16 score involvements, a bunch of clearances, and it's just so great seeing, not only Josh coming into his own again. He was a bit down last year, a bit of injuries, mismanagement of his position. But just Nick in his last month has been absolutely insane. And from not playing a lot of games last year, and probably the year before due to COVID, to coming out and just monstering and probably being already a top 5 player in our club, it just says a lot about him and his work rate and that finesse and that polish that we do lack at times. He has it, and he's only going to get better from here, and we're only going to be better for exposing him to all these games. Look, and I'm all about finding positivity in games, and I'm all about, yeah, we lost, but look at this, look at this, look at this. And, when I say that, it's not because I'm dismissing the loss or anything like that, because I hurt just as much as you guys hurt. And it sucked. It really did suck. And I took like a whole day to recover from that game. And then posted something on my Instagram on Sunday. But should we have lost the West Coast? No. We should have smashed them. We really should have smashed them. And we would have if we had kick straight. At one time in the third quarter, we had 12 consecutive inside 50s for 2 goals. Like, come on, man. And, we'll say it's a lack of a key forward, and that's it as well. No Kruger, Cox. They chose Cameron over Cox, and on the day I do like Cameron at times. I think he's a decent ruckman. He could probably do a little bit more around goal. What I like about Cox though, and I've said this multiple times, is okay. He's not the best forward, okay, but did you see what he done a couple years ago against West Coast, or was that last year where he kicked 3 goals in that first quarter? Because he just can take a monster grab when he's on, right? And yes, he has more bad days than he has good days, but what that means is if Cox is there, do you think Jeremy McGovern and stuff are just going to be dancing around and marking the ball all the time? They're not, because they have to climb over Cox. Even if Cox doesn't get the ball, he's commanding 2 or 3 defenders, and he's putting it down for Jamie Elliott, he's putting it down for Ginnivan, and the likes of that. So that's why I'm on that Cox bandwagon, and I can understand why people aren't, but that's why I am. And I think he does come in next week, but we'll talk about that more in the preview of the Lions-Collingwood game. And look, it sucks. Like, we're 2-2 though, right? We're 2-2. If you're telling me at the start of the year that we give Geelong a run for their money and only inaccuracy costs us, West Coast Eagles a run for their money and only inaccuracy costs us, and we start round 5 in the 8, we're still in the 8, we're 8th, right? At 2-2, you absolutely take that. Yes, we've had a horrible run of injuries again, but what's new? We're Collingwood. Jamie Elliott goes out for 3 months. Ash Johnson goes out for 2 months. So that's, an up-and-coming forward, and one of our best forwards in Jamie Elliott. So, Cox gets a chance, and these young kids in the forward line get another chance to go again. Bowman Kruger comes back on Anzac Day. Kruger was injured with his shoulder, so he'll come back. So, it sucks. But this is football, isn't it? This is why we love it, and this is why we hate it. This is a season where we're only going to see improvements. We might have some devastating losses. We might have some really good wins. But it's the season that we're going to improve. Yes, those 2 wins at the start of the season perked us all up, right? And I'll admit, it perked me up as well. But a season of improvement. Let's get it from there. And just have a good year.
The stakes so high. Ball throws it on the boots.
So I asked you guys over on Instagram to leave me some questions to answer, and I've got a couple here that I want to. Daniel Dineza says, do you think our backline isn't as confident as it used to be? Doesn't seem like the brick wall it used to be. We're still a good defensive side. You got to think that we have been doing this without a proper full back. Howe isn't a very good one-on-one defender, but he's had to defend one-on-one. We welcome Ruffy back. Yes, we sacrifice a bit of the defense to go forward and be a high-attacking team, and I don't mind it. Buckley was very defensive, and that was great. It was keeping teams to a low score, but we weren't kicking a big bag to win. So McRae's trying to balance the two, and yeah, we're not a brick wall, but we're still pretty good. Huanbo, sorry if I pronounced that wrong, says, what were our scores like? How many points were rushed? I think only 5 of those 14 points were rushed, so we pretty much finished 10 goals, 9. But when you think of rushed behinds, it's because it gets to the line, falls short, and it gets punched through. So yes, technically still a rush, but we should be making the distance on those. I know Dacos did a couple and stuff like that. Extreme Ink Geelong says, why didn't we play Cox Cameron together in the same forward line against McGovern? Honestly, your guess is as good as mine. I would have liked, just to go taller in that forward line. Cameron and Mychek work best as like second and third talls, so we kind of did need a Cox there. Tom Morelli 99 says, what was your favourite moment from the game? I think that Josh Dacos goal was amazing. Tom Wilson getting his first goal was really nice as well. And obviously Braden Maynard coming back, really pushing to be in that midfield, and a very nice goal to top it off. Thank you so much for your questions. Be sure to check on my Instagram when I post these up. You can get featured on here as well. But like, comment, subscribe, tell your family, tell your friends, tell your pets, and until next time, Double Shackers, I'll swoop you later.